What's up everyone, Alex here. So yesterday Vita3K got a new update and it's a pretty big update. I'll leave a link in the description to the GitHub and it will list all the changes. So there's a lot of cool things in there. Some games are running even better and some games are running for the first time. And one of those I want to talk about is Zelda, A Link to the Past. This is Zelda reimplementation, I think it's called. And basically it was like made from the ground up for like PC and you could play it in widescreen, but then people ported it over to the Switch and then the Vita. And as far as I know, for the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus and the Flip and the Odin, the only way to play the widescreen version of Zelda 3 is through Vita3K. You might be able to do it through Skyline, but I tried and I couldn't get it to work. But I installed the newest version of this emulator and there are some changes. I'm going to go into configurations, and if you go over to GPU, then at the bottom here you'll see this new thing, memory mapping. And in the last update I believe it did not work on the Retroid Pocket because of the Mali GPU, but I've set it to double buffer and I've noticed even in Secret of Mana that it runs a lot better, which is great. There's also another thing. If you go to well, not that, if you go to settings, and I believe it is in emulator, there is something called log level here and it's set to trace. If you set this to off, then you will get a performance increase because whatever that's doing is like costing you some performance. So you save this, close it. I'm going to restart the emulator just so that setting should be saved. And yeah, we're going to have a look at Zelda, A Link to the Past. So I did install this to the VPK about 2 months ago, so I don't remember exactly how to do it. I'm going to leave links in the description where to get what you need. But basically, there is like a really hard way of doing it, which is the way you're supposed to do it, where you rip the like data from the SNES ROM itself. But I did find a link where you can also get this data somewhere else. So I'll post it. I'll see what happens if you guys want to get that. And basically, you install the VPK, and then you go over to the. So you go inside your Android files. You go over to the internal storage, and you go through the Vita folder in the Android data folder, and you go to UXO data. Then you will find Zelda 3 in there. There's a folder called tables, and you have to put the zelda3.dat file in there to get the game running. And now I'm going to press it and get it working for the first time. In the previous versions of Vita3K, this was just a yellow screen and would not run. But now it runs perfectly. Just going to get into game. We'll start from the Sanctuary because then you can see the widescreen in effect. And yeah, that's beautiful, isn't it? When I thought about Vita3K, I kept trying to think of like different things you could do with this emulator that are unique to this emulator. And this is one of them. And it's the same with Streets of Rage Remake. That's another game you can't play like any other way on the Retroid Pocket except for Vita3K. And I did expect this game to run slow, because apparently on certain systems, even on the Vita, you will get some frame drops because of the widescreen effect. But it seems to be running pretty decently on the Retroid Pocket. There's also a data file, like an ini file inside the directory where you can change certain parameters to do certain things in this game. So, for example, I can press L and R to swap between weapons. I can go in my menu, and if I hold this button, I can assign a weapon. Now, I think that lets you like quick switch between two. There's some other stuff as well, some cool features. So you'll want to have a look at that ini file and see what else you can change. Other stuff is like stronger weapons let you break pots. You can, when you get the Pegasus boots, you can dash in multiple directions, like mid dash. So that's a cool feature as well. And yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's Zelda, and obviously you get to the edge here and you can see the black, but that's literally because, you know, it's only loading in the map that is created. It's not like they've pieced every asset in the game to make one huge map. Actually, how do I... Oh, I see. So if I go to start, because I've assigned a button. If I go to not assigned, now this button is the map. That's cool. Look at that, it's beautiful. What's that over there? Secret DLC territory. Shh, don't tell anyone. So if I don't want to have the map, I can now have two different buttons to do stuff. So I can assign this to this. So now I can, so let's see, if I set that to flame, I can use the flame and the boomerang at the same time. Ooh, that's cool. Anyway, I thought about this like 2 months ago. It wasn't working 2 months ago. It's working now. And hey, maybe this is just like the perfect thing to play before you get your hands on Tears of the Kingdom, you know? That'd be fantastic. And it works on the Odin as well. The Odin has like a really big screen. I keep forgetting how to use the Odin because I haven't used it in so long. Let's turn that down and this one up. Even nicer, bigger screen. Every time I pick up the Odin, I'm always like, dude, the screen is incredible. I just haven't really used it for a while because of other consoles. And whilst I'm talking about other consoles, so I did a review of the Flip recently, and I did have like some negative things to say about it. And I've been looking at reviews for the Flip since then, and people are praising it quite a lot. People seem to really like it, which and I was surprised, but I'm happy. You know, I'm glad people are enjoying a product, and it is a good product. It's just that for me, certain things about it, which I said in the review, did not make me like it. So I have actually sold the Flip to someone, and it's on my way to them right now. Just to let you know that I haven't like bought a device, said some negative things, and then just let it sit. You know, it's going to a better owner. That's what's happening. So yeah, that's Zelda running in widescreen. Zelda reimplementation. Now I wonder if this bug is if I press this. No, they've not fixed that. When you go in sleep mode, it still runs. That's silly. Okay, so we're gonna have a look at a couple more things here on Vita3K on the Retro Pocket 3 Plus. So let's back out here and close this game. Sometimes this happens. I'm gonna press down, but this black bar still stays. I assume this is something to just do with the free system navigation bar. That's annoying, but I'm just going to start the emulator again and then it's fixed. So what else have we got here? So I'll briefly show that Secret of Mana is running very nice. It already was running really nice in the first place, but there were like certain areas where the frames would dip. But now with this double buffer memory wrap, seems to be running even smoother. Now, there's not going to be a lot you can play on the Retro Pocket 3 Plus in Vita3K, but the games that I have are ones I believe that run quite decently and are worth playing on this device. There is a compatibility list where you'll find which games should be running and which shouldn't. Because not all of the Vita library is playable yet on the Vita3K emulator, even on PC. But running through these areas, the game is pretty buttery smooth. I remember there was a couple of sections outside this area, I think particularly this room. There were all these soldiers here, I think, at one point, and the room was just... It would drop like 10, 15 frames maybe, but it's really smooth. So I found that setting the memory wrapping setting to double buffer on here actually made this game run better. And I did say I was going to play this, and I never did. I got distracted. Oh. Oh, am I going to get kidnapped? Again? That's pretty smooth. Alright, let's back out of this. We'll have a quick look at... I can't remember the performance of this before. Oh, that's so annoying. I'm gonna have to restart. Hang on. Dragon's Crown. So I can't remember if it ran well before, but what we have now is the game running very smoothly, but there's a few graphical glitches, and you just decide for yourself if you find that is a problem. For me, it's like, it looks like all the backgrounds and other artwork work fine, but anything that's an actual sprite or character in the game, it's almost as if they have like this scanline effect that is just not going away. So if that bothers you, then I don't really know what you can do about it, because usually this would be like, maybe you would change a graphics driver and it would fix it, but you can't do this on a Mali Retro Pocket. So I'll try and zoom in a bit. You see that it looks slightly blurry, like a scanline effect, but everything else in game is very nice and smooth. The audio is slightly choppy. I'll turn it up a bit and see if But I did the tutorial and it was running very nice. I was able to do some battling and there was no slowdown. There's just like a little bit of clipping in the audio. There might be another audio driver you can select. I haven't actually tested that, so that might be worth testing. But usually if the default audio driver is not working the best, then I don't know. I should have actually tested the other audio driver, but I'm not going to do that now. I just wanted to briefly show that Dragon's Crown is running pretty nice. Another thing that surprised me, I'm going to have to close this again. Right. Another thing that surprised me, because this was not running before, is Fez. Now, Fez is running. It used to be the case that it would do this and it would crash. Now it actually boots into the game. So I was able to play like the intro, but it got to this section I'm about to show you, and I'll show you again if it crashes. Because if it crashes, then I believe that then this game is not playable. There is some glitchy audio. I should test this game actually on the Odin. And there's an odd effect on the text that makes it hard to read, but it is like readable. But I believe this is the only way you can play Fez on the Retro Pocket 3 Plus, only through the Vita3K as an emulated game. So let's just skip that random text, because it's going to do some spinny stuff when Fez realizes his world is actually 3D. Now for me, I got just past this point and then it crashed. We'll see if it crashes again, because sometimes it's not consistent, you know. I've noticed some games, you try and launch them and they'll just be like frozen, but then you try and launch them again and they'll actually boot. The audio though is like, okay, I've not seen this before. So it crashed earlier, but it's not crashed now. That's the Fez. Oh yeah, and the sprite. This is really odd. So all the sprites load in, and whenever there's like a certain animation to the main guy's sprite, you'll see him. But whenever he's just like his basic standing or walking sprite, it won't work. I mean, he'll just be like invisible, except his eyes. Oh no, it crashed. Okay, so I got a little bit further, but then it crashed. Then there is one more game I guess we'll have a look at. I don't remember if Muramasa Rebirth booted well before, but I actually got into game playing this, and we'll see what happens. You could see there on the list of games at the start, and if you have your Wi-Fi on and you're connected, it will link to the like compatibility compatibility list and show you what games are actually known to be running or what games are known to have issues. I believe this game is on the Wii as well, and oh, we've now got a yellow screen. Okay, that hadn't happened to me before. I'm wondering if that is from the double buffer. But I did actually pick a character and get into some fighting, but the game did crash. So let's have a look at the compatibility. Okay, that's properly crashed. Let's have a look at the compatibility. Come on, there you go. So it's yellow, which means it's known to have like problems. Fez is white. I don't know why. So green is like, yep, this game runs. So, and I don't know why Secret of Mana is yellow, because that's been running really, really well. And then these ports, Zelda and Streets of Rage Remake, have been running fantastically. I'm not going to look at Streets of Rage Remake again because I've already showed it before. But these are like a list of games where I went, okay, I think these will work on the Retro Pocket 3 Plus. But I may end up getting rid of Muramasa, and well, hopefully Fez might be even more playable down the line, because it would be nice to have a version of that that works on an Android device that you carry around, because I think the only other way you can play it, so it's either like original hardware, the Xbox 360, or Steam. So, you know, I guess when I get the Loki, oh my god, I have to look into that. The Loki was supposed to ship this month, and they actually like took people's money for that device a year ago. So that's just crazy. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. But yeah, everything that's done on here will work exactly the same on the Flip if you have a Flip, and I think that's all we have to say about that. So I've got links in the description for what you need. If you like that video, please give it a like. Hit that bell icon if you want to see more videos, and subscribe if you want to see more content. And I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.